Okay, episode 13, Titans, season 2, Nightwing. Now, granted, there's never a moment in the episode that Nightwing is actually named Nightwing, but we did get Nightwing. So how do I do this? I didn't like the episode. Just didn't. I didn't like it. I went into it very apprehensive because I was like, in my head, I was like, you got an arc with Corey, right? You got an arc with Rose and your boy, I said Damien, Jason. You got an arc with Dick Grayson and a separate arc with Jericho and Dick Grayson. Then you got an arc with Gar, and then you got this whole arc with Superboy, right? And then you still have on 8. That's 8. This unrealization of how and why somebody sent Deathstroke to kill the people that he killed, which is one of the Themyscirians, and ended up killing all these different things, right? I was like, in my head, I was like, this needs to be a little bit longer. Like, there's no way they can be able to wrap all this up in one episode. And you know what? They didn't. I'm going to talk about some positives that I liked about the episode, and then I'm going to go into the things I didn't like, because there's way too many things I didn't like. The Nightwing costume, the aesthetic, the fight. The first, even the first 10 to 15 minutes was just epic. Nightwing showing up on the scene, him fighting Slade, you know what I'm saying, like Ravager fighting him. She never was actually officially named Ravager. Rose fighting her dad, and of course Connor like strutting his stuff. He freaking threw a bullet at somebody and hit him in the head. I'm gonna have to go into spoilers here, so if you hadn't seen the episode, you might want to stop here. I'll tell you off rip, I didn't like the episode, but the spoilers I'm gonna have to talk about because it dissects all the different things I didn't like about it. So stop here, come back to this, and go back if you want to, and you'll get more detailed information as to why I didn't like this episode. Oh, I didn't even care for Ian in this episode either. Where do I start with this, bro? So first off, all the different things that I list off in the beginning of this video, none of them got wrapped up well. None of them. Like Jericho's arc got rushed. He just happens to jump into Rose, and that's the resolution. On top of that, Rose and your boy Jason just leaves, never really comes back until the funeral of Donna. Some kind of way he knew Donna died, and he just kind of rose off. Jason looks at the group, and Rose legit actually sees him. Dick Grayson looks and stares at him. Rose kind of looks back like she just didn't even care. Like, what? Then you got the whole Donna... Well, no, before I even get there, Deathstroke. So, they got into a fight, you know what I'm saying? And, like, just proposedly, like, Rose stabs Deathstroke and that just kills him. Like, he doesn't have the same exact healing factor as her, and they just leave his body there? Are you serious? Like, are you actually serious? Like you build up to all this, and it's like, oh, we're just gonna get your boy Jericho out and just kill Deathstroke. Like, get out of here. Get out of my face, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, what was that? It was just so rushed, bro. Like, all this was just so rushed. Then you got the Cadmus lab situation, which, in all honesty, they should have just kept it with Gar. Like, you supposedly, like, Mercy Grace, like, we're gonna hit his full potential, and Gar still turned into a gosh darn tiger. He can't turn into anything else. He didn't even turn into a snake again like he did in the beginning of the first episode. Like, he literally was wasted. Like, they built him up for all these different things, and like the probing, and like he's visceral, and he's like rabid, and like he has him completely under control, and the VFX for his tiger looked horrendous this episode. On top of, they overshadowed Gar, like they just pitted him against Superboy. to make money, and then he was just taken out of the race, and like he was just like, oh, I'm all this time they've been programming, it doesn't matter. Like Rachel took care of it. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, they just rushed through that when that was an actual pivotal arc that could really boost Beast Boy going into a new season. Like all honesty, like they just like, oh, it doesn't matter. Then Connor, and I was kind of like, what would have been dope is that they left it ambiguous, and that Connor like had it, and they didn't know that he was taking over. But no, they just gonna flash him out, and like his program, I don't even know how they would have possibly programmed him. On top of the fact that when they were shooting at him, why wouldn't they have kryptonite bullets? Why wouldn't they use what they used before? Like, you got a scalpel to be able to get into this man's mind, but you can't use the kryptonite. Like, get out of my face, bro. I was sitting there thinking, like, Superman's gonna have to get involved, Lex Luthor's gonna have to get involved. It didn't. They just rushed through it. And so it made it feel like the beginning of the episode was them fighting Deathstroke. And then in the middle episode, they were sitting there fighting really just Superboy. And not to say, like, that scene, I will say the scene with Dick Grayson and Connor was a dope scene. That was definitely a classic homage to Superman. That light, that was so good. But the resolve didn't make any sense, fam, because this whole entire time, now, I know this is gonna sound bad, but this whole entire time, Donna Troy, for real, when Dick Grayson left, she wasn't fooling with Dick Grayson. Like, Rachel said on top of, like, I think something's gonna happen to Dick. I think it's gonna happen to him. Like, I think it's gonna happen to, like, Donna was the one. I ain't even gonna say, what's your girl, Dove, necessarily, but Donna was like, well, whatever, Dick Grayson, whatever. Well, I don't care about Dick Grayson. Be quite honest with you, Rachel and Dick Grayson, Rachel and Donna were separated from Dick Grayson's entire season. There was no added on emotional connection which disassociated the value of the characters. Even, honestly, Corey didn't even have any kind of relation. I mean, granted, like, this whole entire season, he's redefined himself. I get it. But that is where you pull things back together, like, at any rate, Donna died. The problem I have with Donna dying is not that she died. It was the way she died. She didn't have to die. That job could have been done by by Connor. I mean, all honesty, when freaking Dick Grayson was fighting your boy Deathstroke, and they were just sitting in the car, like, it didn't make any sense then. And then it didn't make any sense when your boy Connor didn't go to help. Like, how, fam? How does that make sense? And I was like, they just killed her for the heck of killing her. And then later on, like, once she's already dead and stuff like that, they send her to the mascara. The gosh darn, they gave a man Dick Grayson a handshake and just pieced out, and like, there was no raw emotion at all. Like, there was no real acted emotion from anybody. And I was kind of just like, okay. Then Rachel decides she's going to leave. This whole entire time, this is the most words she's had since the first episode with Dick Grayson. And she's like, I got a dipset. And I was like, that would have been fine if she had a conversation with Gar. Like, she didn't even have like, the person that she's there and tried to advocate for and push back, she even explained was the person that had her and brought her back. She didn't even have the luxury to tell him goodbye, and he didn't even feel anything. Like, bro, like, the writing was not good in this episode. Like, it wasn't a smart episode at all. They tried to do too much, bro. And it's kind of just like, between Deathstroke just supposedly dead, a waste. The Cadmus stuff, a waste. And then you got your girl Corey that couldn't use her powers. She sitting there fighting, and I'm like, why are you fighting, bro? Like, you don't have any powers. Like, that doesn't make sense. Then the end, her sister comes back, and I was sitting there thinking that was Parasite. And I was like, what do I care about this? Like, I thought that the arc would go to, you know, Starfire's like planet and stuff like that, but now you got Rachel presumably gonna bring Donna back from the dead, which is a waste of time. And then on top of that, you got your boy Jason Todd that just went. Whereas they could have easily went the route that everybody was hoping and predicting they were gonna go, with Deathstroke killing Jason Todd. But he didn't. And so it's like, are they gonna use her in the Lazarus Pit? Like, what is going on? Like, it was just a mess, bro. And I feel like I could keep going on and on because like none of the decisions made sense. The acting cues didn't make sense. Like, it was like, I don't know, man. It was bad. I'm not even gonna give it a number rating. I'm very excited for season 3 of Titans. I am, but this was considering I looked at this episode at 1 o'clock at night. This might have been a waste of time for real. Like, I should have just waited till the next day. I'm blown. I was just talking to somebody about Game of Thrones, bro, and how like the ending matters and how not rushing it. And I'm wondering if this is because of this whole HBO Max joint, and maybe didn't know they were gonna get thirsty. But it's just not a good episode, bro. It just wasn't. They didn't even give me the name Nightwing. They didn't give me the name Ravager. They didn't even do anything with Jason Todd. They wasted Gar's arc. They wasted Connor's arc. They definitely wasted Rachel's arc because I still don't know what the heck's going on there. So presumably Rachel did that and Bruce Wayne didn't. So that was like that epic moment for Bruce Wayne didn't matter. I'm blown, bro. It made my stomach hurt. I gotta go to bed. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Let me know what y'all think. I apologize for being a Debbie Downer, but I had to vent all that out. Man, I can't believe they did that, bro.